The Packers and Vikings just made Ryan Poles look like a genius. Let me explain. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Style back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. If you're a Bears fan, guys, do hit that subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate that. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so I know I've been updating you guys with all of the Bear signings and, the details around that, but obviously, I've been paying attention to what other teams have been doing in the NFL, most notably in the division, right? Take a look at what the Packers just did and the Vikings. The Packers just paid Aaron Banks a 4-year, $77 million contract, and then the Vikings went ahead and paid Will Faiz a 5-year, $88 million contract. Folks, that comes after Ryan Poles had pulled off the trades for Joe Thuney and for Jonah Jackson. So keep this in mind here when we're talking about the fact that going into free agency, Ryan Poles did have all this cap space. And in free agency, you're most likely going to have to overpay for B-tier players and give them A money. And what did Ryan Poles do? He went ahead and traded for A-type players, especially Joe Thuney for sure. Lesser Jonah Jackson. But my point is the money. He didn't have to commit that level of money into those guys like the Packers and Vikings are doing into these guys. Look, I like Aaron Banks, but he's not worth that much money. Now, I know that the guaranteed money is the signing bonus that he's going to get. But again, full details have not been revealed on that. It's still a massive 4-year contract worth $77 million. And look, his PFF grade over this past 4 seasons, it's been pretty pedestrian. 56.9, 59.5, 52.8, 65.4. Like, he's just not worth that money. All right. If the Bears had made this investment, I would not have been that happy. I would have been happy they invested in the trenches, but it was still an overpay. So I would have been like, yeah, you overpaid for the guy. So I'm trying to be honest about it and not biased. All right. And then you take a look at Will Faiz. I like Will Faiz. I actually had him as a target for the Bears, but not at that price. $88 million, 5 years. You're talking about top-level money for a guy who, again, looked great in 5 games, but that's it. Before that, looked very average, in my opinion. So we're talking about a guy that you're paying for minimal production, max money. So both of these two guys, if the Bears had made the same move, it would have been severe overpays. And instead, we're getting guys that I believe are in position to be better, flat out, than these guys, right? So I love the Joe Thuney edition. I like the Jonah Jackson edition. And so to me, giving up a lesser round draft pick for those guys, that's the trade I would have done over signing them to big money contracts like the Packers and the Vikings did. And instead, that allowed us to go ahead and get a center in Drew Dahlman and 2 defensive players in Dio and in Grady Jarrett. So overall, man, Ryan Poles, I got to applaud him for this. I think this was brilliant by him. And, I think he comes out on top here, not having to overpay for a pedestrian guard market that got severely overpaid. So, yeah, Ryan Poles looks like a genius coming out of this one. So let me know what you guys think. Agree, disagree? Am I wrong here? I feel like Ryan Poles did the right thing, which is what I would have done. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.